Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. In this video, we will learn about how to find the variance and the standard deviation. So in order to do that, we need the mean. So the mean, you already learned it, which is the summation of x divided with the number of data, and you will get the x bar, or the mean, or we call it as average. So the variance here, we have also the summation of x, but in this formula, it will give you the summation of x, where you gotta square it, and then you divide it with the number of data, okay, and all of this value will be minused by the square root of x squared. Then everything here will be divided by n minus 1. So basically, you will need this summation of x squared and summation of x. Therefore, it's easier if we do it in a table there. So this is a table which we have two columns here, columns of x and column of x squared. So now we are going to solve this example 10, where they want us to find the mean, the variance, the standard deviation for the data below, which is here, the data 2, 7, 10, 9, 2, 5, and 16 will be returned in the table, and we will squat them. Okay, and after we squat them, we will find their summation of x and the summation of x squared. To do what? To find the variance. So variance symbol dia adalah s squared ataupun sigma squared. Okay, maybe you can add to your notes there. Summation, not summation. The symbol, it could be sigma squared ataupun s squared. Sama juga kalau standard deviation adalah sigma ataupun huruf s sahajalah. So standard deviation is very easy. It is just the square root of whatever answer from the variance. That's why we always find the variance dahulu, barulah kita boleh dapatkan the standard deviation lah. Alright, so let's find this. So insert the data into the table. So basically step 1 is to find the variance and the standard deviation lah. It is a must to do table. Okay, the table will help you a lot in not doing so much careless mistakes. So you put in the data 2, 7, 10, 9, 2, 5, and 16. And so you squat them. Here will give you 4, 49, and then 100, and then 81, 4, 25, and then 16 squared is 256. So it is best if you memorize those things, the perfect square, So now you use calculator to find the summation of x, which is 51, and then summation of x squared is 519. Okay, so now first of all we gotta find the mean because the question asked from us. So the mean is 51 divided with the number of data. The number of data is how many there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is the number of data that we have here, which is 51 divided by 7. We will get 7.29. So this is our mean, average. And now our job is to find the variance. Okay, this is the variance. Again, I say the variance can be written as sigma squared ataupun s lah, ataupun s squared. Okay, up to you guys. Jadi jangan terkejut je lah kalau nampak sigma juga dipakai sebagai variance lah, sigma squared. Okay, so now we already have our summation of x squared. So all you gotta do is just sub in the value that from the table itself, from here. So you already make yourself easier from this table. You know that 2 column is meaningful enough to sub in the 519 here directly without doing so much from this formula. Nothing, okay, just 519 there, and then minus with summation of x squared. So 51 squared divided by n is 7. And then everything above divided by 7 minus 1, which is 6 lah. All right. And so the answer is 24.57. Please calculate it yourself as well to double check. And then last one is the standard deviation. So standard deviation is just the square root. Okay. Standard deviation is just the square root of the variance, which is the square root of 24.57. Square root it, you will get 4.96. Ta-da! And so you finish solving the example 10. Let's move on to the example 2. The next example. So given the two data listed below, I'm so sorry, this is data 1. I have done it for you. This is the same thing again and again. Okay, the same thing here for my data 1. So we have two data for this question. Another data is over here, data 2. And then the question is asking from us is find the mean, the standard deviation. Dia tak minta variance, tetapi dia minta standard deviation for the above data, and then interpret the values obtained from both data, from two datas, ya. Kedua-duanya dia minta kita interpret kan. So how do we interpret it? It's okay. All we gotta do is just solve the first data satu dulu yang kita cuba buat dulu, which is all I need is that you sub in every of this data into the table 1 here, into the table here, 2 columns, which is only x and x squared. You try to do it yourself and then check whether you get 143 for summation of x and 1957 for the summation of x squared. And so you calculate the mean, and then I got here 13 for the data 1, yeah. So please bear in mind all of this is data 1. Okay, data 1. So now my mean is 13, my variance is 9.8, and then my standard deviation is 3.13. Try to do it yourself. You can pause the video. And then here is my another data, which we call it as the data 2. Okay, so the data 2, same thing again, doing the table and then got the summation, which is 143 as well. But now the summation of x squared is different. Okay, the summation of x squared is 2307. And then again, we got to find the mean. So the mean here is the same, 13, as both data got the same mean, but the variance will not be the same. You get 4.8, but then of course the standard deviation juga tidak sama, which is 6.69. So perbezaan dia adalah pada variance dan standard deviation. Di sini nilainya adalah 9.8. Okay, 9.8, and this is 3.13. So let me compare this. Compare with 9.8 and 1.13. Compare with both of this. We got to compare 444. Kita tak perlu compare kita tak perlu compare yang variance. I think kita compare the standard deviation dah cukup dah. Yeah, compare this one. Standard deviation. We compare the standard deviation is enough already. Why? So you got to see which one is the highest lah. Okay, the highest is the data 2. So this is data 1, isn't it? So 1.13 is from the data 1. 6.69 is from the data 2, So if you look here, what I write here, both data 1 and data 2 have the same mean, but the data 1 is more consistent and less dispersed than the data 2. Apakah yang dimaksudkan dengan data 1 ini lebih konsisten dan less dispersed than the data 2? So if you can see here, the variance from the standard deviation, the SD, the standard deviation from the data 1 is smaller smaller. Maybe I should write this. Since lah kan? Maybe we should start with since. Since 1.13 is lesser than 6.69, therefore the data one is more consistent. Teruskan ayat ni pun boleh, okay? Since blah blah blah, since 1.13 is less than, of course, smaller, right? Smaller than the data two. It means that the standard deviation of this data one is smaller. Standard deviation tau, kita tengah cakap pasal standard deviation. Why is it smaller and why is it better? Yeah, my question is, why is it smaller? Why is the SD, why is the standard deviation is smaller and it's better? Why? So this is the reason why. The best analogy that I can give you all is archery. Archery, memanah. Okay, so bila kita memanah, kalau kita tak berapa pro, kita akan panah scattered lah, secara scatterednya. Maybe outside of the box, outside of this papan bulatan ni. Or maybe it's very far from the middle point, Therefore, we call this more dispersed and less consistent. Okay. So kalau yang ini pula you tengok, papan lagi satu ni, the panahan, the arrow is much closer to the middle point there. Bermaksud dia bagus lah kan. So dia dipanggil sebagai less dispersed. So kalau yang less dispersed ni bermaksud standard deviation dia small. Manakala kalau more dispersed ni, standard deviation dia big lah, quite big lah. Standard deviation dia agak besar. Therefore, kita tak berapa macam mana? Kita tak berapa berkenan dengan standard deviation yang besar. Kita lebih suka, senang kata lebih suka lah. The standard deviation is smaller. The smaller it is, the more consistent it is. Because it is less dispersed. Dia kurang dispersed. Maksudnya dia dekat pada mean. Okay, faham tak? The smaller the standard deviation, the less dispersed it is. Therefore, it is more consistent. That is why the smaller the standard deviation, the better it is. Because it is less dispersed and it is more consistent. Dua ni saja yang you all perlu hafal. Hafal sajalah ayat ini. Itulah komen yang you boleh beri di dalam exam. Thank you very much.